they don't even know what the word equity means.
Yeah.
They think it's a new song. What do they say about me?
You want the real stuff.
Are we recording? Well, easier said than done, right? Hey guys, Tama here. Welcome to another episode of Easier Said Than Done. I'm joined here with a very special guest. This is Navajo Stirling,
What's up?
who's an up-and-coming fighter who has come from the Hex, and he's currently undefeated.
Yeah. So I just fought on Hicks Fight Series and did pretty well at that and managed to score myself a shot onto Dana White's Contender Series, which is pretty much what I've been working towards.
Well, every
my
fighter's
whole
dream,
career.
right?
Yeah, my whole career. And lucky enough to get the opportunity to finally showcase my stuff to the world.
Awesome, man. And how long has that journey been? Like, how long did it take you to get to that point?
When I started, I had the idea, the dream of being in the UFC at about 18, and I hadn't had any fights. And I kind of came in with an idea that I was going to be there. Didn't know anyone in fighting, didn't have an uncle that fought, or I didn't know nothing. So I just dived in head first into the big sea, just caught little strays, and now I'm, doing like carrying the country on my back.
Well, New Zealand needs more of that, right?
Yeah, for sure. We need people on my live stream actually like say to me like, man, we need someone, we need someone. And I've just like I'm taking that responsibility of open arms. I'm just like,
Big weight.
stuff it, bro. Like, why not? Why not? So just everyone jump on the bandwagon, jump on my board.
Yeah.
And because I don't feel the pressure, so I'm like, if everyone wants to support me and get behind me, I'll gladly accept it, which is like not a thing that a lot of Kiwis will do. They'll choose to shy away, or they'll be like, they play the just the calm route. But
do you think they're paranoid about the tall poppy syndrome?
I think so. I see it a lot in a lot of big sports stars, and they choose to take the humble route, and I just don't see why we can't have a little bit more outspoken athletes and to just go for it. I think as long as you're genuine to who you are, that's all you need to worry about, and then you don't need to uphold some fake image. But for me, it's just like just giving the people something, give the people something to be inspired by, and I kind of come from a normal blue collar working family. I grew up with, just like most Kiwis, playing rugby, and went to a normal co-ed school, and I didn't have any like crazy privileges, but I didn't have it like super hard either. I'd say I was like right in the middle, but I was taught like hard work, and I have a lot of I was very perspective of like other people, and I realized like some things that I should be grateful for. Yeah. Just having two parents and a brother and sister,
100%.
Loving family, which is huge. Like I've met people that don't have any of that, and it's like far out. I got a pretty good.
Exactly. So that's actually a very good lesson there. The humbles, and that's gratification, right?
Yeah.
So that is the main thing, and it also leans into perspective.
Yes.
Where something wrong in your life, and then you actually look back at the big picture, and you're like, there is billions of people around the world. More you can open up your phone and see shit happening in the wars overseas, and you're like, they would literally kill to be in my position, right?
Yeah,
which is cool. And the thing is, when you're saying beforehand that you came from normal blue collar, which wasn't much money, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah.
When you go into fighting, a lot of the things is money doesn't help as much as, say, you're a rich family and your son's going to go become a lawyer, or is he going to go into like a white collar thing? Money literally does help a lot, right?
Yes.
Sure, you can have money when you're helping your son to train with the best type of coaches, but if he's just going to be a lazy fucker anyway, there's only so much that the dads and the money from the family can do.
Yes, and you see that like those guys that did come from like they have a lot of money now to give to their children, and they put them through the best training. There's something about like they end up marrying up with the guy with the less training that wants it more. Yeah,
hunger.
And the hunger is there, and you see it in like a lot of local fights. Sometimes my teammates on the lower level, they're at a good gym and they hold on to that a little bit too much. Like, oh, we're at the good gym, but I used to say, like, man, if I was the other guy, I would be going for you guys, you know, like trying to prove something. And that's why I say to everyone, like, everyone has a fighting chance. And it's just kind of who wants it more. And that could be translate to anything, you know, like people just wanting it more. They might have had less and they don't really have, the only other option for them is to go back to the bottom. So they're just going to push through anyways.
Yeah,
you know?
100%.
Whereas the people up top, they got so many avenues to just be like, you know, I don't really need this or whatever.
So it's the hunger, and then you go from rags to riches, right?
Yeah.
If you were to look at following like the UFC, who would you say is the biggest rags to riches story? Because I know who I'd say.
Probably Conor McGregor.
Yeah,
I'd
100%,
say
right?
He was the one that kind of got me into it as well.
Oh, really?
You know? Yeah, I was watching kind of his rise, and I used to watch like some of his interviews when he was like about my age, like 23, 24, was making his break. And yeah, I've never heard anyone speak like that, you know, like saying like, oh man.
Like how poor they were?
Yeah, not so much how poor it was, more so just like how, you know, he'd given everything to this and
like his belief.
yeah, his belief in himself,
Yeah.
and he was just pretty much going to run for everyone. And,
Yeah.
and you saw it a lot in his earlier career, and it was amazing. Like,
And
for me, it was
now
like,
he's so rich.
far out,
Have
yeah.
you seen the clip where it's Dana White talking like Conor doesn't need to fight anymore?
Yeah,
The reason why is he's too rich.
yeah, I think so. And you probably see that he probably got like a little bit injured for his last fight. And went, you know, I don't really need to do this.
Yeah, exactly. Well, everything changed after that Floyd Mayweather fight,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Got that
for
100
sure.
million in one fight, bro. It's like, even if you lose half of that to taxes, 50 million.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And he's got his whiskey brand. It was
Yeah,
doing pretty
exactly,
well
right?
as well.
But he is a big spender, though.
Yeah.
So that's the thing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
When
so
it's
he's got
easy come, it always is easier to go.
Yes, lifestyles change, right?
Yeah.
Like people's lifestyles change and they start spending more. And
Yeah, 100%.
now they need to make up for it, so they just got to keep making it.
Exactly. So currently at the moment, you're 26?
Yep,
26, young dude. You're four fights undefeated.
Yes, 4 fights undefeated in MMA. I was 19-2 in pro kickboxing and Muay Thai, and that was my career before MMA.
Yeah.
And I'd been professional since I was 21. So although I haven't had that many pro fights in MMA, I've been a pro fighter for quite a long time. So yeah.
So tell us about your last fight that you did on, because that was like the first sponsorship. It was really buzzy. In New Zealand, it was on at like 12 o'clock midnight.
Yeah.
We also fucking put it on at 7 o'clock, bro, waiting for you. And I was like, bro, this is fucking 5 hours in.
Well,
it was all good though. It built it up more.
Yeah, it takes a while. Like I've been a main event fighter since God knows how when. I think it's because of the look and all the promotional stuff I always try to do outside of fighting, which has always put me ahead of other fighters.
Yep.
Was I was willing to do the obligations, media obligations,
Yep.
and as well as my own and podcasts and all that stuff. I think that really helped me push my brand out there a little bit, and then as well as just being a bigger athlete, they usually put the big guys on last. So dealing with like a lot of pressure is pretty normal to me. Like,
Absolutely. And the thing is, like, you know that saying that, like, it's not what you know, it's who you know?
Yep.
The other thing that's coming onto that, the last sentence is, it's not what you know, it's who you know, and it's also now who knows you.
Yes.
It's the thousands of people, tens of thousands, millions, hundreds of millions that it goes to the top tier that know you.
Yes.
Because that's the thing that monetizes now.
Yes. Yeah, oh, for sure. I would probably consider that to be like one of the reasons why I even got a shot on Contenders, was because I had done a lot of promoting while I didn't have fights on things like TikTok, which was like a big branch to my success and getting my name out there, especially amongst the Gen Z. You know, they're all on there, so that got me well known in the streets. Like I would be walking along, people, I seen you you're the guy from TikTok. You know? You're the fighter from TikTok. So that's why I used it. I was trying to think of like other ways I could stay relevant when I came to a time where nobody wanted to fight me and I couldn't get any fights. And when you're not fighting, you're not getting paid.
Why did they want to fight you? Scared?
Yeah, I think so. I think because I had fought well.
Yep.
And just probably doing the promoting myself. People really believed I was unstoppable. Yeah, I think that stopped people from wanting to fight me here and over in Australia. So
Well,
yeah.
your last fight, I think you third round TKO.
Yep, third round TKO.
Yeah, which was awesome. Is it out of 5 rounds, that one?
Yep, that was a 5-round title fight. My first 5-round title fight in MMA. But yeah, I knew like the longer the rounds go, the better I get. More like I kind of download the opponent's sort of like their weaponry, and I can counteract that.
Yeah.
And
No, it's awesome. And like, it was great to see like Tama property coach and Vista Pro there. I've never really seen my name on the back of someone's leg that's going into someone's solar plex.
yeah, no, it's good.
I was like, there it is.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Yeah. Looked painful,
awesome.
but no, it was good, man. You fought pretty well. Afterwards, when you actually asked, you said something at the end, which is great because you've watched this so many times when UFC people have the mic, and they've got their one opportunity to say something.
Yeah, they blow it as well.
Yeah, what do they do?
Blow it. They just I think because they're so like overwhelmed with just winning that they're like don't know how to capitalize.
For you have to focus very much at that moment.
Yes, you do. And you almost kind of have to look, I wouldn't say look past the fight, but you do have to really be confident that you're going to win.
Yep.
And you have your next
speech
promotion ready.
Yeah, your next business hat. It's literally your business hat needs to come on.
Sure. And like, obviously, when you're in the UFC, like a lot of guys are doing their call-outs, like what makes sense for them. And like, I don't know, I noticed this, but some dudes that are very smart, they call their next fight. And when they call their next fight, you're basically lining up your pockets, you know?
Correct.
You're setting up your next payday.
Pay, you know the
You're not wondering
viewers.
when am I going to get paid, when am I going to get a fight. You've set the fight up. You know? When it makes sense, they will put that on.
Absolutely. And you know what they look at? They look at that post that's clipped, and they look at the content reactions, the engagement, comments.
Yeah.
And that's what is a deciding factor into them being like, well, it looks like the people want this.
Yeah. And the confidence as well to say the guy you want. Like you see a lot of guys like, oh, I don't know, like I don't know when this is going to happen. But when they see someone like, no, I want this guy, you know, it's like, oh, bro. When you have the confidence to call someone out and fighting.
But you basically just asked Dana White, where's your...
Yeah.
Or was it Dana White or someone else you said, hey?
It was Mick Maynard, so I think he's one of the... he must be one of the matchmakers, I think.
Yep.
For like the heavier weights in the UFC. And he heard it. He followed me that evening.
Fuck, really?
That night, yep.
Holy
he followed
shit.
me that night.
Yep.
And pretty much everyone on the highlight reel that got posted, there was about like 3 or 4 of them. He was tagged in all of them. And he must have heard the call, you know. So,
so do you have any idea who you might be looking to fight if you got a chance to call out an actual name?
Yeah. What, in the UFC?
Yeah.
You
blow it, eh? You're like, Dana, fight me.
Yeah, I haven't actually like looked at the roster.
Yeah.
Around like the roster in my weight.
Yeah.
But definitely after my debut, going into my debut, I'll probably start because I'm
too early to call any names now.
Yeah, because I haven't actually gotten a contract yet.
Yeah.
But once I win this next one, then that's a secured contract. But you can't also just win boring, or you need to win very dominant. Because there's been some fights on Dana White's where the guys won, but it wasn't that very convincing. And Dana's just like, oh, it was a good fight, like congratulations, but maybe come back next year, you know?
Fuck, see, that's a good lesson for everyone listening and watching this. Winning now isn't just good enough.
Nah.
Sometimes winning isn't good enough.
Yeah.
You need to be very convincing, confident, as you said, and in a sport that is at the baseline of it all, it's entertainment.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, entertainment.
UFC is entertainment. Boxing, WWE, it all lines to one thing, entertainment.
Yes.
Right?
100%. And that's what I kind of look towards is like everything from the image, the way I carry myself, the confidence. You need it all in the fighting. You can't be unsure of yourself. You really do have to be sure of yourself because, I mean, I'm sure you've seen like it's a sport that's like unforgiving. You know, like you'll get eaten alive.
100%.
So yeah, you need to be very confident. And I would say that I quote a lot of that to my success. Has just being that guy, you know, and putting not being afraid to put the pressure on and just call my shot.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And obviously, you spend a lot of your time training. Which are,
Yeah.
how many times a week do you train?
Well, it gets pretty busy. Like there's certain, we've just introduced like this real professional like
Schedule.
approach to our training, because usually like the old way it was like, oh, you got to fight. This is how much time you're in camp for 8 weeks. But now that we have programs for the guys who don't have a fight or might have just come off a fight, that need to stay fit, but it's not necessarily
As intense.
so intense as a normal camp. All of the purpose is to obviously maintenance and having a really relatively good fitness base, and it's quite easy, the fitness training, but all of the effort is put into upskilling and learning. So when you're not necessarily training hard and sharpening yourself for a fight, you're more so upskilling, and most of the time is spent in classes where you're learning, and then when you get the fight, then they push you to a certain phase of programming. And they're working with High Performance New Zealand, they've kind of collectively worked in with Huge our training that we have to do and what they recommend, and we have like designated warm-ups now, and we have to we have to measure our heart rate variability every morning now with a chest strap. So it goes onto like a spreadsheet, gets recorded. And
See the advancement of technology now, in trainings. Even implementing it hard. There's this went viral I think yesterday where Cristiano Ronaldo, I think it was a paid sponsorship from Whoop, the Whoop straps. Fuck, that was genius. But they analyzed Cristiano Ronaldo's heart rate in the last game that they just played, and they showed like the graph going up and down, and his heart rate was the absolute lowest when he took a penalty free kick, which shows like the absolute focus, control of his breathing, his heart rate before he literally kicked the ball.
Yeah, it starts to be like a little bit more, once you dive down to the nitty gritty, like everyone trains hard and works hard. This is the level I'm at. Like everybody works ridiculously hard, but now it's to a point where technology is advanced. We're getting that in, really diving into like, breathing is a huge one. I quote like, I take breathing to be like one of my successes in the ring. I'm able to stay relaxed in like high stressful moments, like when I breathe through my nose, and that's just working with a breathing coaches that have like told me how important it is, dealing with that fight or flight response, and that could be in anything like stressful situations, whether you're a cop or a firefighter and stuff like. Absolutely. All of that is crazy important.
It could be life or death situations.
Yeah, for sure. And because my brother's a cop, he's even
in New Zealand.
He works out in Otahu, so he's in some pretty rough situations day to day. It sounds like the wild west out there.
My sister as well.
Yeah. So
detective.
Training. It's all correlates to everything. So
no, that's good, man. And obviously, like with a lot of time focused on training, eventually when you were talking about your business hat on, that's always something that you are thinking of how to pivot, right?
Yes.
Because there is a time frame that fighters have because it's physical, right? And you've seen what other sports stars have done right, and you've seen what other sports stars have done wrong.
Yes.
And talking about like asset classes, people talk about, stocks, crypto, gold, property. Is there anything in your mind that you've seen that has been like the biggest safety guard for these?
Yeah, I would say property is a big one. I think even Israel's getting into the property himself, him and his dad, and seeing how well that's been going.
Very smart move, that, eh?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Like you said to me, everything kind of comes back to property, and my parents had always told me that, as well as some of my other sponsors that have talked to me. They're all amongst property as well. So it's that would be a big one.
Yeah, 100%. So there's obviously numerous ways, and that's sort of what Investor Pro is like. Is it's about teaching people the fundamental skills that is education, but it's all about action. Because as with everything in this world, there's not enough time as you think you have for anything.
Yep.
A lot of it is just due diligence. A lot of it's just trialing this, trialing that. But the result and the action takes a while to get, right?
Yep.
Even you, how few and far between fights. You have to always be training just for that little, you knock out someone in fucking 3 minutes?
Yeah.
All of it's over in that 3 minutes.
It's a game of like inches, like centimeters, man. Like,
so you got to always be on top. So when that 3 minutes does come, or that day does come for an opportunity, you can't fuck it up.
Yeah. We don't get to play rugby on a Saturday, lose, and then come back the next weekend.
Yeah, it's not like rugby.
It's not like that.
Or league.
You could be waiting a whole year to your next shot. Like you get knocked out in a fight, that knockout might cause a concussion and cause you to be in and off of training for a long time. And the pressure is so high. It's, you need to be so sharp,
100%.
so dialed in.
So if you were to like eventually, hopefully is the plan, get into the UFC, does that mean you have to literally move to the States?
Nah. So all of our teammates currently in the UFC, I think they need you need a working visa, which is what I'm working through at the moment.
Yep, I was going to say you should get onto that ASAP. Make sure your passport's always valid.
Yep. So we have obviously a management team that are trying to help me sort through that. I had to fill in 60 pages worth of different documents. And
what's this for? Visas?
I had to do with the visa. I had to do the normal athlete questionnaires, medicals, and bank forms, tax forms, and all that for the US.
Oh yeah,
a lot of stuff, and then obviously the normal application for the visa.
Did you have people to guide you on that?
Yep. So I was just working back and forth with management. But my mum said she wants to get me in with a lawyer to have a look at documents and stuff. Yeah. Soon. So I was like, I'll have to get onto that. Yep. I think she was trying to call me before I come up. But that. And it's a lot to work through, but they're good problems to have, I guess. Yeah,
100%. So, and it gets more and more as you progress, right? And there's a lot of people in New Zealand. The type of fans that watch UFC would probably be a lot of them are the blue collar workers, right?
Yeah. For sure.
And you look at them in New Zealand with the economy that's happening at the moment. It's not the best, right? Yeah. So that is why having these type of white collar skills, which is the business acumen, is, would you say, very important?
Yeah. Very important. And for me, it was my thing was because I'm not actually there yet, making absurd amounts of money. My goal was to just be right, this will come later. I will work on just the actual fighting. I just dive my head in hard to just getting really, really good, and then I said I'm gonna eventually meet people that are gonna help me.
Yes, correct. It's leverage.
So
that's literally leverage.
That was what helped me, and that's why we're sitting here today.
100%.
Focused on what I could control, and which was the fighting. So it's all kind of worked out.
Absolutely, and it's one of the main things that I like to teach and preach about is negotiations, right? Everything is to do with negotiations. It's like the fast track cheat code in the world, right? If you could negotiate some certain type of fight that goes from stage 1 to stage 3 straight away, oh my God, it's going to be crazy. And you've seen people do that. You've seen other fighters go straight from there. One of the key ones, it's not in UFC, but you've seen like Jake Paul, what he's done. A dude's gone from and Logan straight to Floyd Mayweather.
Yes.
No one does that.
No. That was through negotiation.
That was through negotiations, working hard to get the eyeballs, the attention. And then you've got fucking Jake who just goes straight to Mike Tyson. Obviously, that's been
and you could see they had a lot of experience from the YouTube career. Which is
business focused, bro. Those two
deal with fans and swaying audiences in their favor.
Absolutely,
they're very smart. I always look at the funny thing is I'm always looking at that as opposed to a lot of people going, type in what they think. I'm just far out. Look at how many people they're able to, obviously annoy and get them to watch. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Which is,
the people that wanted to see them get knocked out, yet they didn't, and they're going to come back and buy again.
Yeah, exactly.
And they wait till I bet you that a lot of their pay-per-view sales from haters comes in the last 5 minutes before it even starts, bro. I reckon that's where they all come out of the fucking shadow. Nah, I ain't gonna watch it. And they start seeing all the posts come up and all the attention. They see them do the ring walk. And then they're like, fuck it. 3 clicks of your phone, bro. Type your CCV number. There it is. And 5 seconds, you're in.
It's amazing. Yeah, those are always the things I look at. I'm like, far out whether they love you or hate you. Like they're gonna watch. They're gonna watch.
They watch,
so,
bro.
That's the main thing that you should look at as well. Like looking at it from a business perspective as opposed to like, people not gonna like me or whatever. You know,
100%.
Which is
And the thing is, again, if you're in the entertainment industry, there's so many tangents that you can take. You can go into products, your own products. You can go into like fucking movie deals eventually. You can go into another sport even, So alcohol brands, entertainment has so many tangents.
Oh, yeah. And you see like it'll be like, I don't know, Israel Adesanya at a baseball game or like, throwing a baseball. That'll be like a headliner or something.
Speaking of Adesanya, obviously he's got a fight coming up. Which is quite cool. The one most impressive thing about Adesanya, obviously he's a developer now, which is right on point. But the dude's just fucking got Mark Zuckerberg just dialed into his phone. He spars with him, hangs out with him, sees him at the UFC. It's like, bro, he's like the 4th richest person on the planet. He is technically the most connected person on planet Earth. No one's more connected than that fucker, bro. He's in everyone's pockets.
No, it was crack up, I think someone had hacked into City Kickboxing's main page on Instagram. And they were like, some guy was like posting like selfies like on his Instagram, like just pretty much ruining the page. They hit up Zuckerberg, and then he got it all like
sorted.
Cleared it.
Oh,
in
real?
Like 2 minutes, like.
Bro, that's mental.
Got onto the hackers, cleared it. Pretty much, and there's been a few of like the other coaches and stuff that have had their Instagrams hacked into, and they've just they got them on speed dial now, which is pretty crazy to me.
The cool thing about being like a professional athlete, whether you're a fighter or not, like you see like the shit Tom Brady can pull. That motherfucker can walk around the street and pull, presidents will come and chat with him. Jeff Bezos sitting there having lunch with him. Because there's that saying where it's like, basketball players would love to be rappers and rappers would love to be basketball players, right?
Yes.
But at the same time, most businessmen would love to be those athletes.
Yes.
Because they know that they can pay for nearly everything they want now, but they know they can't do, regardless, what they can do. They can't do a spinning back kick, bro, and knock that dude out with one click. They can't fight this dude in the club and win. Their bouncer can, their paid security can, but they never can. So what they do is they spend their money to socialize with those people, to hang out with them because they're cool. And then ego comes into it, and it's sort of that thing where if you're just a really good athlete, your doors open up because you start to get the eyeballs of the people that want to just hang out with you. If you're good enough and charismatic enough and fun and all the things that Adesanya has made his character.
I've been with him in the States, and I've seen like I don't know, like Drake or something, like pull up to him like, hey, what's up? Dap him up. And
you've been there when Drake saw Adesanya.
Like just that's an exaggeration. I wasn't there when that had happened, but that has happened. But I'm just trying to think of like someone famous. Like Odell Beckham Jr. like swung past me and like dapped him up, and I was like, oh, what the hell, that's Odell? Like I'm just sitting in there, there's been times I've been I'm sitting in the hotel watching Kevin cut weight and Volk and Jamal Murray, who was was the NBA champion that year. They were just sitting on the couch with me.
Mental, bro.
I was just sitting on there with Jamal, and he was just like asking me like, oh, how long do you do this for?
Absolutely.
And I'm just like, oh, it's easy, bro. Like,
it's nothing to them, mate.
Oh, it's nothing, bro.
And it's like you forge those type of connections that could sort you forever. Like if Mark Zuckerberg ever wanted to buy up property in New Zealand, first person he should talk to about it is Israel.
Yeah.
He's literally a developer here.
Yeah.
And all he has to do is like, oh, you should just buy in Queenstown. You should buy in wherever, massive
yeah.
fucking complexes. And dude's like, oh, which one? And he's like, oh, that house looks pretty good. He goes, oh, no, which neighborhood?
Yeah. Pretty much Contenders is a big thing.
Yeah, when
I'm
is that
supposed to-
happening?
So that'll be September 24th.
Yeah.
So the initial Contender series is like a 10-week sort of fight card sort of thing. So it's like they run 4 to 6 fights maximum every Wednesday for 10 weeks. So it's like they'll have week 1, week 2, week 3. 2 of my teammates are on there with me. So my teammate from Aussie, he's on week 2. Aaron Toe, he's on week 7, and I'm the last one, which will be on week 8 of the Anzacs. I actually think I'm supposed to fly over to Vegas this weekend, or maybe like
really?
Sunday or Monday, to do the photo shoot and like they sort of do like a video promo introduction just before you're about to fight.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it will be played on like ESPN.
Oh shit! So your name's gonna be out there on ESPN now.
It'll be on ESPN. Like
Cool.
they kind of they run it on ESPN on a Wednesday.
Yep.
It'll be like Wednesday midday in New Zealand time.
Yeah.
But Tuesday in Vegas. So
Yeah.
they'll run like a little quick promo video of you.
Yeah.
For both fighters before
Yeah.
you go and obviously fight, and then pretty much what happens is all the guys fight. They'll do like sit in like a kind of press conference room, and then Dana will have like his mic and he'll call out like who gets the contract.
Like a drafting.
Yeah, kind of. It's kind of like an NBA draft.
Yeah.
Like that's exactly how it is.
Do you have a persona name? Like, you know, you've got the notorious.
We were trying to figure it out. Like I always wanted like the crowd to name me.
Fuck, I was gonna say that's a good point.
Yeah. I always wanted the crowd to name me, but I never really felt like too much urgency for it, seeing as like my name was already quite unique.
Yeah, it is.
So I was like, I'll let the crowd. I feel like the crowd will kind of name me. Something iconic will happen, and then I'll just kind of like, I don't know, it might be a crazy fight or something.
Yeah.
And then someone will give me the name, and then we
Cool.
can
Do you
run
watch
with it.
your fights back and critique yourself and be like, I could have done that better?
Yep, for sure.
Absolutely.
For sure. Like usually I end up watching it back and I just clip it and make a cool highlight reel of me just like decimating them, you know. But I always like realize like when I watch it.
But knowing you can't get too cocky,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For me, it was always I enjoy like a highlight reel because it looks cool, but that's more so for the entertaining. But then I look back. Usually a year later, I watch it a year later and figure out like.
Fuck,
how
I'd be
much I've
watching it
improved.
the next day.
I always watch it like all the time for like every day for like the next like 3-4 weeks, and then I think I'll end up watching. I start watching it, and then I watch it like usually 1 to 2 years later, back and how much my game has improved since then, and what I used to do and what I would do in that situation.
Yeah.
This time round,
Nice.
you know.
Yeah, hard.
And I go far out. If I had known that back then, like.
And mind you, your coaches are there for the immediate feedback.
Yes,
On the round. Round 2 finishes, hey, you're not
Yeah.
blocking with your left hand. He's opening you up on your right rib or whatever the hell, you know?
Yeah. Nah, for sure. That's it. Sometimes, coaches will understand your skill set and they'll get you to do something that they know you can do as well. And that's just from them being like so dialed in and watching all the fighters, and they kind of understand how you fight and they know what you can do to operate and what methods that they know they can get out of you. And that's just from having like an actual head coach that like oversees everything, which is something like some of us fighters don't realize how grateful we should be for that.
For coaching.
For having like a coach that oversees everything.
Yeah, 100%.
Usually everywhere else you get like guys traveling the world, they're going from gym to gym, and they're kind of like a solo fighter, and they'll do like camps all over the place, but they don't necessarily have a head coach. Yeah. And when they do ground themselves and have a head coach that oversees everything, there's like you can almost get a different kind of fighter, like a really, really good fighter. Because it's almost like you're fighting with another pair of eyes in the ring.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's exactly what you want, right?
Understands you and everything you're about. They also like know how to change the cornering advice from technical to like more like obviously motivational, like they really need to like bring out the best you know.
Yeah.
And that's
yeah,
like
it's half, right?
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
physical skill.
Yep.
And then there's the mental, right?
Yeah. Sometimes you can see like some coaches where they need to like push them in one or the other direction.
Yeah.
Obviously like the big famous one you would have seen, like Leon Edwards when he knocked out Kamaru Usman. His corner was like, come on, like you know, you got to bring it out the fire, you know, and then managed to like set up that head kick.
Yeah. Fucking AIDS.
Yeah, those are cool. You know, those are cool to watch because it feels like you're watching a movie. You know, when you see those kind of fights and.
Well, if you want to go hard, you also have to have the demand excellence, right?
Yeah.
Like a good example is like Steph Curry, right?
Yeah.
When he was training back in the early days, he would always, before he leaves, has to get 5 free throws in a row.
Yeah.
And he would not leave the gym until he could get to 4, miss 1, keep doing it. And sometimes when he was starting out, he'd be in there for like, just it starts to fuck with your mind, right? And you can't get 5 in a row for like 45 minutes, and everyone's already left at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Now, his expectation is when he does 16 3-pointers in a row, that fucking clip I was watching the other day, I can see that he's not even happy with getting the ball in anymore.
Yeah.
He needs it to be absolutely flawless, nothing but net, peak drop, no backboard, not touching the rim.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he's not happy
he,
anymore.
Doesn't go for the rim. Like if it
Nah,
rims it,
not good enough for him now.
Yeah, it's not good enough.
You know?
Which is
he needs it
insane,
harder. He's past legendary mode on Halo.
Yeah, which is crazy, eh?
Yeah. So it's pretty cool. You know, follow other athletes, and you'll see.
Yeah. I like to like take inspiration from like all sports, and just how they deal with like that performance anxiety as well. Like really performing at their best for that split moment. You know, Cristiano Ronaldo's a good one, and I was just watching that sprinting documentary that just came out on Netflix.
Tom Brady is an awesome one. Michael Jordan, The Last Dance.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Anything Kobe Bryant, of course.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and it's crazy, like seeing like different kinds of competitors in gyms as well, and how they are like. Sometimes they're not always liked as well because they're almost too serious.
Yeah.
And different approaches. I'm very like, I like to watch all of that kind of stuff and just like kind of piece together how I am naturally as well.
Yeah.
And what works for me, because obviously I'm not going to be like Michael Jordan or in this aspect or whatever, and figuring out what works for fighting and what works for other sports. And I think it's just as long as you're like constantly trying other things, you kind of figure out.
Absolutely. And first one here is just to do New Zealand proud, right?
Yeah.
New Zealand doesn't really have anyone on the upswing. You know, Adesanya probably going to retire soon, and everyone else that's in the same sort of year.
Yeah.
Then it's the next generation, and then you just inspire anyone else and
for sure.
make them understand that it's not just fighting.
Get behind me, just being like New Zealand born. Māori and raised, I think everyone will look to get behind me. But what I do want to like not be known for is like kind of being pushed into like New Zealand's I don't know what it is. Like I don't want Aotearoa to push me into that role of this is the Kiwi guy, this is how the Kiwi should be, just like this guy, like this super humble guy, like I kind of want to break into a new market, and just be like, us Kiwis can be a little bit more
if
outspoken.
you got to flaunt it.
If you got to flaunt it, like don't just hide away just to make everyone in the media happy, because I know a lot of them don't like Israel for him being like so outspoken and whatnot, and that's why it's funny he's got that new billboard thing. Oh, what is it? They're painting. Have you seen that in Central?
Oh, big mural.
Yeah. He's got that big mural like looking right at them. So it's kind of funny that
I didn't see that.
That they have to see that every morning.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Which is a good one. That's what somebody was telling me. So I think that's cool, but. Yeah, it's pretty sad. I think it's just because he's Nigerian as well, like
it's the other thing.
Even though he lives out of New Zealand.
Racism. Lovely, of course, yeah.
I
Zealand's
believe.
big on
I
that.
think. They probably didn't like that. And he was like trying to change the Kiwi ways and stuff.
Yeah.
But I think for better, for good.
Absolutely. And you're in, as I said, you're in entertainment sport.
Yeah, yeah.
There is so much airtime for holding a microphone.
Yeah.
Before the fight, after the fight, like in the ring with the microphone.
Oh, yeah, it's-
fucking social media,
It's full
weigh-ins.
on, eh? Like the UFC, the way they do the media and stuff, like it really gets people.
Well, that's all
tuned in.
on Dana, like the
Yeah,
business
yeah.
thing, learning from Vince McMahon, how he did with WWE,
Yeah.
utilizing the algorithms for how social media reacts to certain things,
Yeah.
all that's the science,
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
billions of
the
dollars.
one that's obviously popping off right now is Pereira. Like how quickly he's gone up there is insane.
he can
Like,
barely
people-
speak English, eh?
Yeah, he can barely speak English, but they've just utilised what he's got and
Yeah.
have put it out there to the people. And now he's on bloody everything. Like he was touring Melbourne or like Aussie when we were there.
Yeah.
And then, he can't even speak English, but he does things that are iconic, which is one that I always talk about. Like obviously his walkout, his bow that he does,
Yeah.
and obviously his like real intense stare off.
Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah.
And people love that, So that's why I say, man, I'm like, bro, if
You
you've
wanna think
got
of
like
something.
something that's original, keep that to you and keep doing it,
Yeah.
Like people might think you're stupid or whatever, but eventually they're gonna think you're lame until you ain't.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Until that's the cool thing
until
to do.
that's the cool thing to do.
Until you've knocked out 5
Yeah.
people in a row, and they're
And
like,
then
well, I
it-
guess we got to start doing that move now.
And then it's original because only you thought of that,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big.
No, it's
I'm a
good to
big,
see you've got that,
preacher of
that
that.
creative edge. You're focusing on business. You've got your hat on at times that you need to have it on.
Yeah.
Obviously, the best investment, as you know, is in yourself.
Yeah.
With what you do each day. And I guess the only thing that you can control is training hard, your diet,
Yeah.
and following those people that are there to guide you in the best aspects.
Yeah, like now I'm like getting into streaming as well,
Mm.
my video game stream, which is doing pretty well.
Nice.
It's people can interact with me and see how I am like on a day-to-day basis, like not like kind of relaxing as well, like seeing how people be like, oh, this guy plays games just like me or whatever, and
It's also a good way to make your opponents underestimate.
Oh, yeah,
you.
for sure.
You can
Oh,
fake
bro.
heaps of shit online.
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
Ryan Garcia them all the way to the bank, bro.
Yeah. No, I do.
See what he
like,
did, eh?
Some people are like, oh, shouldn't you be training and stuff like that?
Yeah.
And it's kind of good to practice like dealing with people as well. and,
Yeah,
like,
because they
comments
are
and
your
stuff.
first free
Yeah.
point of like self-defense in the media.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's been interesting. It's also helped like build my charisma as well, like on the cam, because you actually have to be entertaining, like for people to watch your stream and
Absolutely.
and stuff as well, which is kind of new to me. It's definitely energy. You need an energy for it. Like, You can't just jump on and stream. Like if you're not feeling like you're like ready to entertain, then
high
usually
energy.
I won't stream.
Yeah, exactly.
But when I do stream, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It goes off, and we're getting like I've noticed we're getting like a lot of people tuning in now. Like,
Really?
Yeah, considering like the Dana Whites, and people always giving me congratulations on there. And
What? Dana White?
no, sorry, the Contender series. Like
Yeah.
people
They're
are-
keeping up to the news. Yeah, of
but
course.
I think we did the one stream when it did get announced, and we had hundreds of viewers on there. So it was pretty cool.
Cool. Awesome, bro. Well, again, you seem to know what you're doing, and you continue to work hard, and hopefully that you crack it in the States, which is the main thing, right?
Yeah. No, for sure.
And they can obviously check you out. What's the best handle?
Just my name, Navajo Stirling, on pretty much everything you can think of.
Yeah, nice.
YouTube, TikTok, Twitter,
Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram. No, you'll see me on there.
Awesome, bro. Cool as. That's us, guys. Brought to you by Investor Pro. And as we said, you have to put in the work. Can't just say that you want to be a fucking champion.
Yeah.
You
got to put in the work, man. Hard work will get you the results, but and then just that self-belief,
Nice. Absolutely. All right. Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Mint.
Ciao, bro.
Cool.